Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ryan, and we're discussing politics again, so you know what that means. We got glasses on. Let's see these actually. There we go. They work. So we have the second day of the Republican nomination thing. Yesterday we had the official, Trump was officially nominated, and J.D. Vance was the official vice president nominated by Trump for that position. And we're going to kind of discuss him a bit, but also we're going to discuss a little bit of what I've seen today. You had some big names. Vivek Ramaswamy came out. You had Nikki Haley, you had Ron DeSantis. Those are the main ones that talked, that were part of the Republican, not the debates that happened early this year, a bit last year. And none of them got serious traction to have competition with Trump. And you had some names, DeSantis and Nikki Haley, and the Viveks were thrown out. Those are the three main ones. Again, I just said them, but those are the ones that had a little traction, but none of them could compete with mainly Trump's name and his popularity and people's opinions of him. It would have been stupid of them not to nominate Trump, and they nominated Trump more than double than what was even needed. It was like 1,218 was needed. He got like 2,439. So he's definitely the guy. That's not a surprise to anyone. This is my first video, full video, like I would say since Trump was shot. And again, rest in peace to everyone that passed away. I think one person in the crowd was officially shot dead, and two others are in critical condition. We are praying for everyone to make a good recovery from the situation. It's a scary thing. Could have definitely been prevented, and that's what you hate. Deaths that could have easily been prevented by the security doing their job. It was clearly warned. It was clearly up there. Even the crowd could see it. They were pointing it out. They were filming it from before, but they didn't do it. But the security didn't do anything about it. They did a good job protecting Trump, but not the people there. It's interesting. But they have a signature moment. You know, it's like in football, they have the thing called the Heisman moment. It's like it's a football player's signature play that they look back upon. It's like, that was the moment. This is Trump's. When Trump stood up, hold that fist up, if he wasn't already ahead, he was way ahead after that. And especially after anyone who thought it was staged. Anyone who thought it was staged got that proven wrong. And I think a lot of people just united around Trump after that. But I'm going to discuss real quick a very little bit about what I thought about today's thing was the Republican nomination. It's a 4-day thing. Of day 2, I didn't do day 1. It was just J.D. Vance getting nominated as vice president. And we'll discuss him. That's the main thing. We're going to discuss him and Trump being the official nominee. Again, I have something scratched right up in my eye, a little itch. But Trump was there. That's great to see. He had a little thing right there on his ear, just a little protector right there. Not much, a little thing you would find in any medical kit you would have. Safety thing. He had. So it was nice to see him there. Got a good round of applause. Nikki Haley, Vivek Ramaswamy, and Ron DeSantis all had the same word that they used, which was unity. No matter what your opinions are, we're coming and we're going to endorse Trump and we're going to get the Republican nominated. We're going to win. The Republicans are going to win. That's what they were discussing. And Nikki Haley very much enforced that. She kept talking about what would happen if Kamala Harris gets the presidential role. Because we don't know how long Biden's going to live for. Let's be honest. We don't know how long he's going to live for. We might give him a max of 2 years. Because dementia takes people real quick. And with the treatments he's going to get the best treatments he can possibly get because he's the president. But dementia beats almost, I would say, any medicine or any medical treatment out there. And it's been proven. We don't have a thing to help out with that yet, at least to completely change it. And he's already at like 81, 82. People start having health problems, big health problems around this time, if not already before. A lot of people don't even make it to this age. So, yeah. She was mainly talking about how will Kamala Harris do? Do you want Kamala Harris as your president? How would she be for a day? Would you like her to be a president for a day? And if you don't want that, avoid that. But, excuse me, I'm sorry. But, some of y'all might not know a whole lot about J.D. Vance. And this guy, by the way, from New York Times, named Adam Nagorny from New York Times, shout out to him. All this information I'm going to get is from him. But he did a full-on breakdown. It was the best breakdown I saw. It came out about a day ago, just less than a day ago. Discussing J.D. Vance. If you want a little background about him, I'm going to give you a background about where he's, just a bit about him, a little bio, and then his opinions. And now I'll give you an idea. We've known Kamala. She's been in the eye of the world for at least the bare minimum of 4 years. A bit before, so let's discuss. J.D. Vance, he's a senator. He's from Ohio. He's 40. That's nice to hear. He will become 40. His birthday is August 12th. Give it a month and he'll be 40. By the time of Trump, if he's elected, which he probably will be, but if he will be elected, he'd be 40. And he's a Marine veteran. That's one thing to know. If you've watched us before, we highly respect veterans and their opinions on things. And we'd like to see them in office. And especially someone who's not in their 80s is nice to see. But 40, that's half the age. That's more than half the age Biden is, which is ridiculous. Just even thinking about that. So he was born in the 80s. He gives you a lot of perspective, a very different perspective. But he's a Marine veteran. That's nice to see. He's been in combat. He's been in that situation before. I'd love to see those opinions. But let's go through some of his opinions. The main one a lot of people are iffy on is he goes against all abortions. All of them. Any situation you can think of, he is against the abortion of anything. Rape. Again, he does not believe, even if you're a rape, abortion is an okay option. He doesn't believe that. Non-consensual, nope. Any medical reasons, nope. He's completely against it. Will that change? I do not know. But for what I've heard, what I've seen, he's completely against it. So that's one thing. Next up, doesn't seem to have much interest in the Ukraine situation. He just doesn't believe it's a huge, significant thing that will affect the U.S., that we have to keep sending money and resources over there while we keep protecting our own country, which is something I do like to hear. I think it's important, but again, it's a Ukraine thing. It's a Ukrainian thing. They can handle it. We've been helping them a lot. They can handle it. Let's help out the homelessness. Let's help out the veterans. Let's help out with the border situation, which we will discuss. He puts this on here. Let's help this country out more. Because we need these resources. We need our money. Let's put them into the people that live here, not the people in the Ukraine. Anyways, he wants a wall and echoes a lot of Trump's ideas when it comes to the subject of the border. A lot of things Trump has talked about, he agrees with. That's one of the reasons probably why he's the vice president pick from Trump. He echoes a lot of Trump's opinions, or at least around the same idea. And he's younger. So this idea of Trump believes in a guy that even though Trump is not in the worst health, he probably will make another 4 years of bare minimum, probably at least 5. But he only needs 4. If something bad happens, especially after seeing what happened there, I'm not sure if that changes that idea that I almost got shot. Like I got shot, I was one head turn away. If he looked like this, if he was facing forward, he's dead, or he's in a highly critical condition situation. We need a guy that if this happens, we can trust for generations to come from. And a guy that's in his late 60s and 70s will not cut it. But a guy that's who's 39 and going to his 40s, it will be in his 40s while Trump would be in office if he's elected again. That's a good option. I think he saw that and he said, "Oh, you know what? This is a very appealing thing. He has a military background. He likes the ideas that he has. It compares to his. It echoes his ideas. He's about half the age, so he can relate to people better. And some people around a lot of people around this age group are the people voting. 30 to 50, that's a huge population of people, and he's able to relate to all of them very equally. That's great to see. Someone who you can talk and say, you know what, I can believe that idea. I can believe that idea. Like, this guy's younger than my parents are. So this idea of this guy can relate to a lot of people from many generations. You might not like his ideas, but he's more relatable than a guy that's in his 70s and 80s. And he's probably going to last longer, barring a horrible situation. God forbid that. But he wants to protect American industries. That's one of the things he was discussing. He gets the idea of China and what the products we need from them. But he wants to protect the businesses and everything that we've made. He thinks they're better. And it's a very important foundation to this country. To have an industry, have industries, not just one, but multiple industries that America can rely upon in not just war situations, but just any situation in life that we have an economy going down. Okay, we can rely on our farmers. We can rely on these businesses. We can rely on these certain companies and industries to allow us to make it through these times. Because again, we were having a COVID situation, and we relied on other countries that were not going to ship stuff to us at the time because of COVID. So we have to build our industries up here. And he wants to do that. And that's a nice thing to see. He consistently supports Israel. That's one of the things. He consistently supports them. If you dislike that, that's your opinion. But he consistently supports them on a lot of things. Not bad. They're an ally to us. Not hugely surprised. Climate change is not a huge threat, and he questions the scientists. Trump also questions the scientists. I remember there was a video back when Trump was in office. They were talking about climate change, and it was like, okay, how about climate getting hotter? About climate cooling? Because cooling is a bigger problem. When the climate cools, that's big. That's huge. Because if it gets too cold, you can't grow your crops the same way. And if there's a drought, it's even worse. Sunlight's not going to be, the temperature is going to be a big difference. You can't grow things the same way. Things are more uncomfortable when they're cold. And especially up north, the stuff up north, if it's cold in the south, it's usually way worse up north. So if it's cold here in like the springs, it's going to be awful up in the north. And prolonged winters and falls, early falls and long winters, for temperature-wise, that would hurt. That would hurt more than a little bit of hotter falls in shorter winters. You can still grow stuff, but you can't do that when it's that cold. And yeah, he questions scientists on it. Some people do, some people don't. People just say scientists. You do the research. You come up with the studies. And just tell me what they are. And that's okay. That's okay to think that way. But some people don't like to think that way. And I guess he's one of them. But again, it relates to he echoes a lot of what Trump says. So that's a little thing. If you don't know a lot about J.D. Vance, there you go. Those are some of his opinions. That's a bit of background about him. And honestly, again, I give a scorecard throughout the time of Democrats and Republicans. I think last score I gave was like 35 or like 42-14 Republicans ahead. I thought Biden did some stuff okay. I saw Biden, I'm pretty sure, was talking about DUIs, about how they should not be an illegal thing of some sort. I can't tell. Again, AI is crazy. But I heard something like that. I heard it from multiple things. So that could be right. If it is right, that's crazy. I'll probably just put something up here if it's right. If it's not, then I'll say it's incorrect. But this was a good job. This has overall been pretty good. The idea of Republicans saying, we're going to come together for this guy. Because you look at the Democrats, half of them are saying, I don't want you as running. The other half are saying, I want you running. And it's kind of a split household. Again, a house cannot stand together. If it's your house cannot stand together if the different opinions are this heavy. Lincoln's discussed that before during the Civil War. House cannot stand when it's broken. You can't do that. The Republicans seem way more united. Trump was there. He was smiling. DeSantis, he seemed positive. Nikki Haley seemed positive. Vivek Ramaswamy seemed positive. All the other senators seemed positive. Overall positive crowd. No real huge distribution, no huge debacles or anything that's like, oh, this is going to rip this party apart. Democrats have that. Republicans don't. Republicans are blowing them out the water. I'd give a score of 56-7. This is by far, I would say, the biggest lead. Even after the debate, I give a score 49-10. The Republicans are so far ahead of the Democrats. It is unbelievable of a difference. It's insane. It's genuinely insane, especially after Trump almost got killed. The way he unified people together, and it's like, this Trump guy is pretty. You got people questioning, like, Trump ain't that bad. He really ain't that bad. He's willing to stand up after that. He got shot and stood up. That stuff does not happen. This stuff doesn't happen. And the last president that got shot or assassinated attempt was Reagan, and successfully got shot was Reagan. This stuff doesn't happen often. You had Kennedy got shot. I think William McKinley got shot. Theodore Roosevelt got shot. Toughest guy, my favorite president ever. Let me tell a story real quick. Give a minute of your day to learn this if you don't know this already. Teddy Roosevelt was, I think, doing a speech growing up. I think it was in Milwaukee or Madison, Wisconsin. It was up in that area. And he got shot right in the chest, sternum area. And the core, let's just say that, the core. And he had his little glasses case with him. And the bullet hit that. It still went through the skin. But it braced it just enough. And he went on during his campaign and gave a speech with the bullet still lodged in him for an hour and a half. And he had his glasses case and he had his notes for the speech right there. And it shot him right there. And it protected him, but probably saved his life from being able to bleed out. But he took the papers. I'll show you. Let me see if I can. But he would take the papers and just, I'm not sure. He would take them with the holes in them and just throw them at the crowd. He would take them and just throw them at the crowd with the holes in them to prove to them that he got shot, and he just tossed them up out there for an hour, hour and a half, just got shot, and then would have surgery afterwards. Toughest president we have ever had. Shout out to Teddy Roosevelt. Great guy. We would love him during this time, but dude, he was tough. One of the most toughest people this America's seen. But that's just a little story about Teddy Roosevelt. And then Lincoln, of course, got shot. And there's some other assassination attempts. But usually respect level for people who've got shot and continued is very high. And a lot of people, the senators, were discussing how great of a father Trump was. I know the West Virginia guy was discussing it. He had a bulldog on stage crew. It's like, oh, we love bulldogs. Republicans are so far ahead. It's ridiculous at this point. The Democrats will need an insane comeback. And how does that stuff happen in football? Usually referee interference. Will there be any interference going on here? We had one big attempt and it failed. Again, rest in peace to the one person who died and 2 people in critical condition. We were praying for y'all and y'all's families. But right to Trump, big attempt, failed, and I don't think the Democrats planned it, but this couldn't have been any worse for the Democrats. They're down horrendously right now. I'm interested in what they're going to try to do, but Trump showed up. They love him. Everyone's standing with him, and the Democrats are as split as a banana split with 3 flavors of ice cream. Put on opinions, put out in the comments your opinions about this. Also, if you're still watching, give me your 3 main things that you're looking for in a president. 3 characteristics you look for in a president for you to vote for. Because I know a lot of people are like, I vote Republican, I vote Democrat. Ignore that. It doesn't have to be the characteristics that these two candidates have, but what are the 3 main characteristics you look for in a president? Put down in the comments your opinion, your 3 main things, because I'm interested in what y'all thinks the 3 main things are. I'll probably discuss that next video. Hope you have a great day, y'all. Stay safe, and remember, y'all, God bless y'all.